So what is suitable for the cold climate of Sweden, right? I mean, I tried making these boxes of sweet potato and water, you know, like you see on the clips, right? But honestly, the only thing that actually worked in here was the garlic and the horseradish, right? That's the only thing that worked in Swedish climate, right? And since sweet potato turned into sludge, that's it. I tried this one instead, and this is actually working. See, you got some sprouts coming there, and this will work so much better, I think, or I know. I mean, like once it's up and running, and it's gonna grow, and you just transfer it. But we'll get to that, right? As you can see, I mean, the seeds, they're, you know, non-existent. And part is that we had I think maybe 10 backlashes where we dropped below zero, right? So I was a little bit early, but unless you live indoors or have a greenhouse, I don't recommend wasting money on seeds in Sweden. You know, it is what it is. But if you start indoors or you have a greenhouse, absolutely, go for it. Since I'm letting the wildflowers grow as well, to, you know, throw off the pests around here. We have a ton of snails coming and going all the time, right? I decided to let it grow so they, you know, maybe they choose the wild ones over my planted, but we'll see what happens. Nonetheless, I have rhubarb, right? A couple of them. Got berry bushes. Even trying out this grape plant. I got a couple of grape plants and a couple of blueberry plants, and mostly for fun, right? Because I mean the forest is full of it. I really don't need it, right? Another rhubarb, strawberry, and another rhubarb, right? And besides that, I've got the horseradish and some ginger going down there, right? And well, this is the space where I'm gonna put some raspberry as soon as I can move it, but it's still a little bit early, and if I move it now, they're probably gonna die from, you know, from the heat and lack of moisture. But we're getting there. It's not that far to go. And let's see, got these big rose raspberries here, but I mean they're gonna make it, definitely, but they're gonna make it next year. And it is what it is, right? Wilter, come back. Remember that? All right. And I haven't been gone that long, and look at that. I mean, I could easily make a living from picking these. And this is my hand in comparison. Right. So tons and tons of it, and it's expensive, really expensive in the store. So, yeah. Could easily make a living from it, summertime at least, right? And I usually keep the scraps of whatever mushrooms I pick, right? Because see those snippets there? If you just spread it around somewhere where you have decomposing wood, like timber or whatever, it's gonna root. They're gonna start producing more mushrooms, and I mean preferably closer to where you live, right? So I'll spread those around, and hopefully I'll have edible mushrooms on the property later on. Cool, huh? Here for an example, I have decomposing wood, right? And moss on top of it. So what I do is I lift the moss, put the snippets under it, just anywhere I feel like, and that ought to do it. It's not too complicated. It's gonna form a mycelium, and in the long run it's gonna produce mushrooms as well. Today we're gonna do something quite different. I'm gonna try to grow some mushroom mycelium for edible mushrooms, right? And I've done it before, but you know, not every time is successful, so we'll see what happens, but at least I'm going for it, you know? So we got the mushrooms I've found before, right? And some of these are pretty good. They all contain seeds, and the bottom here is some mycelium to it already, right? So what I simply do is, you know, just toss it in the drink, and I try to look for a few that are not that big, because, well, normally when it comes to mushrooms, the smaller ones haven't given off the seeds yet. So, well, I'm not sure if it, you know, if it holds water, so to say, right? but who cares, right? I mean, like, we'll see what happens. That's the point. And once I get those myceliums going, I can transfer it to, you know, the ground, or any substrate I can, you know, think of. Like, for an example, they like dying or dead wood material, right? You know, that's one of the preferred growing grounds where decomposing material lives, right? And, well, there's a lot of that here, so I'll have no problem, you know, planting it. But it's gonna take a while anyway for it to actually turn into anything. So, you know, anything you do when it comes to this, you know, planting, transferring, doing whatever, it is for the future, right? You gotta stay ahead of the game, you know, like planning years in advance. I mean, when it comes to anything you're gonna eat, right? But it's well worth it. Worth the try, right? I also have this space on the property, right? This is, you know, perfect breeding ground for it. So I'll take whatever I have left and I'll spread it around, and, you know, if it grows, it grows. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Pretty simple. You know, try it out. Don't be afraid to try and fail, because it happens. It happens to anyone. But fail, get up, try again. Easy, right?